Hello, my beautiful soul family. I welcome you again to my channel. I am just, oh my goodness, so many things have happened the last couple of days. I welcome you to this channel that I've opened just some weeks ago. I gave it the name The Mystical Hummingbird because of the relationship that I have with these little creatures that come to me in dreams and give me messages, and also in the real world where I've had the opportunities to be around them, and they touch my soul, and I'm so enamored with them. I just love them. I need to apologize again for I'm so sorry that I'm not so good with these the phones. um, I'm not a very mechanical being. It's hard for me to figure these things out, although I do research and I do this, but I haven't practiced it as well, and there's many things that I still can't figure out. And unfortunately, I deleted the video that's actually right before this one, the previous one, and I am sorry to say that it has. I didn't want to completely delete this one, the one after, because I thought, oh, all that work, and I want to make sure that people will hold on, people will be able to understand it. And I I was talking to you guys about being in this life and how I see things, um, having thinking that life is like a menu. It offers you a menu, and you go to a restaurant and you choose different things, right? And well, um, most people order what they want. Some people just go in and they think, oh, I'm hungry and I'm just gonna eat whatever. And we shouldn't just eat whatever. We should always choose what's delectable, what's delightful. um, I am a writer. I have journals and journals and journals and books, and I'm the type of a person that when I read a book, like when you're in school, they ask you to do an essay, a summary of what you have learned, of what you have studied, and what how it affected you, if it affected you, and relay in words what you thought of this book. Okay, for myself, pretty much all my life, I've been, like I said before, very deep, and this channel is raw and unedited, as you well can see. Um, I just have thrown myself out here, and my guides, my spiritual guides that I have, when I have dreams, they've inspired me to do this, and I've gotten many messages. Um, I will share one thing, that one of my dreams. I have dreams that come to reality. I have the dream, and it can go days, it can go months, sometimes years, and then they come to life. And a few of them have come to life actually the day right after I had the dream. I used to work at the health department. I was the baby or baby coordinator, and as well I worked as a kind of like a doula and help assist the patients to they wanted to I assisted the OBGYNs and the midwives with their patients, and I was on call. And what I want to say is that I worked there for, I want to say, 12 years, I think, yeah. Now, when I was there, I had many experiences, both spiritual and paranormal. And I will tell you that this dream that I had, it was right at the end when I stopped working. But it was very descriptive, very detailed. I was, okay, every Friday I used to do bookkeeping. Okay, during the week I had patients that came in, they made appointments at the front desk, and I had to evaluate, their financial to see if they were able to do this program. And a lot of the people that came, they had low income, so I had to assess their financial status and then do their demographics and different things and do a chart for them. And normally I would ask questions that are like, okay, at the time I have to tell you, it was not required for me to be a nurse to do these things because I had been trained by the leader of this program. And I knew exactly what I needed to do. I would take, if a patient, for example, she was high, had difficulties in her pregnancies, in her previous pregnancies, I had to write down all the information, and so I made sure that the charts had the things for the doctors, and yeah, that's mostly what I did. And then I needed to put the patients together with the different doctors that I thought would, fit together, and do sometimes blood work, sometimes would do the urine test and all the things that is necessary for them when they came in. That was my job in the daytime. So on Fridays I did bookkeeping. I didn't have my patients like regularly. Normally I did. So I had to. I had about 350 patients a month, and so I dedicated that day specifically for that. Okay, so and this dream that I had, my boss, she walked into my office, knocked on the door, and said, "Hey, baby, are you available?" I said, "Yes, come on in. Of course, I'm available." So she sat down, and then she said, "Okay, I've got some news for you. I've got some bad news, and I've got some good news." I said, "Okay, just give me the bad news." Now, this is the dream, mind you. And in the dream, she said, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yes, I'm sure. Give me the bad news. That way I can work through, then it'll be something to look forward to." And she said, "It's not that bad." I said, "Well, just tell me nevertheless." So she starts telling me that the health department had received a notice from the state, actually from the head, from the federal offices, that the Baby Your Baby program could no longer be done by someone that was not a nurse. I had needed to be an RN. And so my boss said, "We're not firing you. Absolutely not, because you're an asset to the health department and everyone loves you. The doctors love you, the patients, or whatever." And then she said, "But we are offering you to give you severance pay for 2 months, and then you choose that, or we'll find a place where we can place you and in the health department, and you can continue working here because we don't want to let you go." So it wasn't really like bad news. So now comes the little bird in my ear that whispered to me and said, "Take the severance pay." Now, mind you, I was a single mom. I had 3 jobs besides this job to support myself and my kids. I was buying a home. I worked really, really hard, and I didn't have much time to myself, and I didn't sleep very much. If I got like 3 hours nightly, it would be like, wow, that's amazing. So and I drank lots of tea and mate to keep me awake when I was driving or whatever. So in the dream, this little hummingbird said to me, "Take the severance pay And I knew it was God talking to me, and it said, take the severance pay. You have a new path to follow. I have a new path for you to follow. And all is going to be well. Don't be afraid. So my boss said to me, you have 2 weeks to decide if this is what you want to do, or with each one, either way, which one you're going to take. You decide. But at that moment, I immediately responded and I said, I'm going to take the severance pay and I will look for other work without any fear. My boss said, are you sure? Again. And I said, yes, I'm sure. And then she said, you do an amazing job here. You've done an amazing work with all the charts for the patients and all the patients that have been high risk. There's never been a problem. You've done the work as a nurse. And needless to say, well, I did work also as a medical assistant. I had been taught hands-on. I didn't go to school for that. But as I worked there, we were short-handed, and so I was taught to draw blood, and I worked also with different machines, and I could do the hematocrit for the patients, and I could help the ladies that were delivering, and there were just, my job encompassed many things. I did different things. So my boss at that moment said, think about it really good. Because, if you decide to take the severance pay and then you change your mind, we won't be able to keep your job. And then I said to her, no, I'll take the severance pay. And that's when I woke up. Okay, so this was on a Friday, the work that I did, the paperwork. And so I go to work, and it's a Friday. Of course, I wrote my dream down like I normally do. And normally I'm woken from my dreams around 3, between 3 and 4 I'm awake, and then I have a notebook and a pad and a pen, and I always have a little light there, and I write my dreams sacredly because I've had this for so many years that it's just part of me. I'm used to having this, and sometimes I'm woken and I hear things, or I'll have like visions, and when I practice meditation, sometimes I have out-of-body experiences. Okay, so what I'll say, when I woke up from my dream, I went to work the usual way, and then I was by my desk, and I was doing some things, and then I see the door open. Oh, by the way, this and the dream, I looked at my clock when my boss walked in. It was about 2:30. I looked at the clock and it was about 2:30. Yes, she walked in. I was doing my work on the computer and my paperwork and stuff, and all of a sudden, someone knocks, and she sticks her head in the window by the door and says, "Hey, babe, are you busy?" And for whatever reason, I look at the clock and it was 2:30. I thought, okay. Immediately I had that feeling that, okay, this is something. She walks in and starts, "I've got some news for you. Some not so good, kind of bad news, and good news, but we'll see how you're going to take it." And I knew it. At that moment, I knew it. And then she starts, "Okay, then we, the state, we got the letter, and if you continue doing the program, and we love you, everybody loves you, the doctors, blah, blah, etc., etc., but we will be fined, and we could go to jail, all of us, because you're not an RN. Although, you have a lot of knowledge of the things, we've never had a problem, the charts are excellent, there's never been a question, all the high-risk patients, you've taken good care of them, you have all their information, their demographics, everything is in their charts, plus all the exams that came through, faxes, everything was up to date, and everything was like perfect." She said, "Yeah, you're an asset to the health department. We don't want to let you go." And I was really pleased with that, and I knew what was happening. And then she said, "And then, okay, but because of the state, we have this to offer you. We're going to offer you severance pay for 2 months, or you can, you know, stay with us. We'll find a place and place you because we don't want to lose you. We've spoken with the doctors. We've spoken with, at that time, Dr. Bell. He was the head of the, with all the doctors. He worked with all the doctors at that time. And anyway, I don't want to be mentioning all the names, but anyway, she said to me, "What? We're giving you 2 weeks, just like the dream. We're giving you 2 weeks, and then you can decide what you want to do." And I said, "I don't need 2 weeks." And she looked at me. "So what do you want? You want to stay, right? You're staying?" And I said, "No, Claudia." I didn't tell her about the dream because those things are personal, and I don't share my personal things. There were very few people that know about me, how my life runs. And I said, "No, I will take the severance pay. I think I'm ready to do something new, something different." So she just was looking at me like, "Really? Are you sure, Vivi?" My name is Viviana, but everybody calls me Vivi. But I do like Viviana best. Anyway, so I said, "Yeah, I'm taking the severance pay." And that was actually quite a lot because usually they only gave you 1 month severance pay. But because of the situation, it was special, they sought to do that. So it was the most like amazing thing because at that time I was exhausted. I worked so hard. I mean, by not having this job, of course, I was like, gave myself some time, some days where I didn't do anything. I went to the mountain and went hiking, and I sat by the rivers and the streams, and I, contacted my God, and I was very at peace with my decision and with what I felt in my heart it was the right decision to take. I was not even without work for 3 weeks when I was hired as at an apartment complex that had, I think, like 65 apartments, and I was giving an apartment where I didn't have to pay rent, and I was also getting paid, and I was in charge of all the paperwork and receiving the people's rents. I didn't have insurance. There were some things that it didn't have, and my pay wasn't as much as the health department, but I knew that this was the way that I had to go. So I am the type of person, I have reached the state that when I am told something by spirit, by my Father, I listen and I follow. And I don't want to say completely fearless because I'm still human and I still have ego to work with, but I have developed a relationship with my Creator since I was a tiny little girl, and I've learned to trust Him. And I have to explain something to you guys that I think I did mention before. To me, God is not this old man with a long beard, and for me, God is a being of both feminine, the mother, like the earth, the Pachamama, the Gaia, and the male, like the sun, all of the things that make the male. So it's a combination. And to me, because of the teachings of my grandmother when I was a little girl, she explained to me that God was an energy, that He was a he and a she together, and that He could be anything. He could be like, this is why I could talk to the birds, and when I was little. And as I grew up, I've always had dreams. God showed me dreams, explained things to me. Like when I told you guys, in high school, I did not understand the concept of how the atom worked, and He told me that the nucleus of all things is love. And by doing that, it opened a door for me. it expanded my consciousness, and I'm no longer the same person. But it didn't just come from one day to the next. I have sought after God since I can remember, and I was not at ease or at peace with the religions. I have learned about some of the religions. I've read about many of the different religions that are in the world now, and I will not speak ill of any of them. The one I was brought up into, because that's what my family, they were Catholic. But way back then, I was little and I did not like the God they were teaching me about, because for me, God is love, and I'm love, and we should all be love with each other, without putting, regulations. You have to do this and this and this to deserve the love. You need to do this and this and this, and so that you can be under my grace. I didn't like that. I've never liked that. And I've always been free-spirited and kind of wild and free, and kind of like the black sheep of the family in a way, maybe. My mom one time told me that. And but anyway, I have to tell you that during this journey that I've been taking, I am more whole. My cup is more full, and I am more at peace than I have ever been in my whole entire life. And I wanted to, when I was told, and how I've been at this meeting, that I was in this one dream, and there were other people from other galaxies. I would gather they were dressed differently, and they were doing an experiment with energy, something very strange that was lifted off the table. And I remember saying, oh, I want to do that. I want my third eye to open, and this and that. And so one of them hit the table, and they said, absolutely not, you're not ready yet. And I remember then I had a clump in my throat, thinking, oh my gosh, I'm not prepared. This is many years ago. And so I walked outside. This is still in the between dream vision, after I had meditated, and I walked out of this building, and I levitated. Now, when I say levitate, this of course is not in this realm, it's in the spiritual realm, but I have levitated in this realm, and this is it may sound really way out there, but what has brought me to this, while I'm sharing a little bit different things that I've experienced, it happened to me when I was dancing. Music is very, very, very important for me. I don't play any instruments, not yet. One of my greatest dreams is to play the guitar and learn to play the guitar well, especially the classical guitar like my mother played. She left me her guitar before she passed away, and I've been teaching myself, but I have not had all the time to do it, because I have so many things to do that I have to just steal moments here and there. But that's one of my passions, music. The guitar, I want to learn how to play the harp, and then the cello. I adore the sound of the cello. It kind of like, the cello just kind of goes inside of you, and it makes you come alive. And it's like drums. Oh, I love the sound of drums. I can go crazy listening to like African music, or when there's drums, oh my gosh, you cannot like stop me. I'm like shaking everywhere. And I love going to concerts. I love music, love, love, love. I went to a concert, was it last year I went? One of my favorite singers, the British lady, Sarah Brightman, very beautiful lady, the most beautiful angelic voice. I went to a concert there. And the same weekend, and I saw Katy Perry in Vegas with a friend of mine. And I had a lovely, lovely, beautiful time. And I tell you, music, it's just amazing. Now, I've explained a little bit to you guys how the universe talks to me, how I speak with spirit. Prayer is vital for me. I talk to God, I voice my feelings, mm, my thoughts to the Creator ever since I was little. And when I meditate, I'm still, and I can, when I'm still, then I get the Creator speaks to me either through dreams, through visions, through music. I will go back and tell you something that happened to me when I went through this separation, this divorce that I had to experience. It took me many years um, to heal myself, to feel whole again. And I have to let you know that I learned that we are the people that hurt ourselves the most. For I was no longer in a situation where someone was being angry with me or saying things to me, but you have the memories, and then we're the ones that bring them to us here, and that was what's hurting me, and I needed to let it go. So it's like I'm saying, it took me many years to get over this, but I have to tell you, one particular day, a friend of mine had given me a CD of Sarah Brightman, and this happened in a July a month, and I would go to bed crying, and I would wake up crying. I know this sounds like I was very emotional. It was very hard for me when my family was broken. My children, they were all reacting. I was reacting, so it was very difficult. But I must say, this one particular day, I asked the Creator before I went to bed, please help me, give me some solace so that I can find some guidance and I can feel your presence with me, and give me some hope, because I'm in the middle of the summer and it feels like winter in July in my heart. Now, mind you, when I talk to God, the Creator, I expect Him to talk back to me because I'm so used to it, and people don't understand me when I say I talk to God and we talk 24/7. I mean, I'm doing the dishes, I'm driving. He says move to the left, move to the left, and something happens. Now this doesn't occur every single day when I get in the freeway, but I've had very close calls. In fact, a couple of days ago, I had a truck that almost hit me, and I was talking with him, and for whatever reason, the car deviated, did something, and he moved. He didn't even signal that he was moving to the right lane where I was at. Anyway, back to this. I was very, very in a deeply emotional state. So I went to sleep like I normally did, with tears in my eyes, and cried myself to sleep. This went on like it took years, literally. So I was woken at 2 a.m. My sister called me, and she had moved out here to Utah with her family while her husband was out in the army somewhere, and she needed me to come and help her because one of her children had a high fever and she could not bring it down and could not take the other kids with to the hospital. And I said, absolutely. It was on a Saturday. So when I woke up, then it started again, the thoughts coming. I said, I'll be right over. We live from each other about a half hour. So I decided I'm coming, and I get in the car, and I had put the CD that my friend had given me. I placed it in and put it in to listen. And then I was just driving, and then all of a sudden I realized I was listening to the lyrics of this one song. And it's baffling. Tears were pouring down my face. I'm not a very good singer. I don't have a very good voice, so I'm not going to attempt to try to sing this for you. But it was something like, broken dreams could never last if you still find yourself living in the past. Keep moving on to higher grounds, looking for the world you thought could not be found. Many roads be ahead of us, and with choices to be made. But life is only one, something like a game we play. There is no special way. And make the best of what this world has given you. Everything will come in time. Why deny yourself? Don't let just life pass you by like winter in July. Broken dreams can never, how is it now? Broken dreams can never last. If you find yourself living in the past, keep moving on to higher grounds, looking for the world you thought could not be found. And he continued. So look it up on YouTube. Go look at the lyrics, Winter in July by Sarah Brightman. I get emotional every time I think about it, because that prayer was answered like right on the dot. And I feel special. And I'm not any better than anyone else. I'm just little old me. But I'm important to the Creator. I'm important to someone. Besides my family, besides my friends, I am important to the being that created me. And this is just a small thing. This is just a small, this is just one of the thousands of experiences that I have with Him. And I love Him. In fact, I adore the Creator. And I love the stories of Jesus. I know there's a lot of confusion with people, with the religion. I remove all that. I take my Father. I take the teachings of the Christ, the higher consciousness, the Christ consciousness, the teachings of the Buddha, and all the higher masters, because it's all about love. And I don't want to discuss religion with anyone because it's not necessary, because I don't need the religion. I just need the love. And I want to be that love. And I'm here to express my love and my life and how it works for me. And I'm going to read to you guys something, because I had this blog some years back. I have not written back in the blog, but I'm going to start again. But I wanted to share something with you, because I was thinking about what are the things that make me be me. And one of the things is one of my passions. I discovered life in like a 4D, instead of saying 3D, but a 4D like dimension. I say this because life in my eyes has many dimensions, and every dimension is created by the concepts embedded within a thought process. But what we choose to impregnate into our minds through these thought processes, okay? So I began doing a personal study and passion. Wow, what didn't I find? First of all, I will share with you how I see myself on this day. I am a garden of passionate possibilities, where my mind holds the power to create literally to my heart's content. I mention the garden because all that is green, I love, and all that has life, I love. Thus, my first passion, acknowledgement of love of the Creator. Love is my passion. From here derive all of my other passions. Next is life itself, meaning Spirit, God, the Creator, Father, Abba, my lion as I call him, my very own Abba, and the secret to my seeing life in 4D. When we observe the road, freeway, or any other place, we have a limited space, side view. We need to turn our heads to see if it is okay to pass to another lane. At this moment in time, our eyes only have the ability to see a certain range, but what must be understood is that our eyes see after what our brains interpret and what is being sent to them. In actuality, our eyes see nothing, for our eyes don't send images to our brain. It is the other way around. These images are constructed in our brains based on very simple signals sent. There is a higher order brain function which determines and perceives the necessary range of light. This is not determined by distance, but by the brightness of the object in view. Now, to get to my point, when we surrender into life, meaning our higher truth, our God, Self, Father, we obtain a new vision. Thus, we develop a sort of a 4D or higher way of looking at things, and everything becomes more clear. Everything makes sense, and there is a broader way to look at things, for we accept a higher wisdom and can actually perceive a deeper, a higher understanding of life around us, thus becoming our inner vision the tool to manifest our true reality. We see beyond what others cannot see nor perceive, for we obtain this way of looking at life in a passionate way, and in my eyes, the way a child would perceive, with awe, with innocence, an approach of wonder to new ideas and all pertaining to life. All is easy, all is possible, all can be achieved and is. So being passionate in my garden of life is just one of the many dimensions I have chosen to experience. The other is the passion to create. I love to create, to be creative through writing, poetry, an essay, a book, creating a new veggie dish, an amazing garden, knitting, sewing, painting. Finding that I am a passionate being has brought me face to face to my own divinity, my own truth. So all that is, and that is, I love love. I am passionate and so very grateful for it. And this includes life itself and all its facets and wonderment. So it opens you up. Love opens you up, and you fill your cup. And when your cup is full, you're no longer the same, and you want to share the love you feel. I have so many experiences. I know that I need to soon stop because I don't want my video to, with the time and everything, but I'll quickly tell you that I have high ideals, and I used to be told that I was so intense, and I am, and I feel deeply. When I feel deeply because this is how I was made, and actually this is how I love me. I love the person that I am. I love to share my life with people. The things that I've learned in my journey. I've traveled the world in many places. I've lived in different places in the world. I lived in Europe for many years, and I traveled back and forth here. I've lived in Hawaii. That's I love Hawaii. That's like my second home. I lived there for a long time, and I've gone back many times. In South America, I visit Chile still. I do spiritual retreats, and I just love what this life is giving me and the things I'm discovering about me. What if we knew that we were powerful beings, that we could change this reality? Have you ever thought about that? Okay, I'm going to leave you with that thought, and I'm going to wish you a wonderful night and day, or wherever you may find yourself, and I will be making another video soon and with new wonderful things to share with you. I love you, my soul family. May you have a wonderful week, and stay positive and be happy, okay?